Welcome to the DeFi Degen Podcast number 12 and issue number 12. I'm here with Ian, ID Crypto.
What's going on, guys?
What's up? What's up? Today we have an exciting issue. We're going to talk about news. It's the newsletter. We talk about news. We got Tomb Finance and the forks and how they work, right? We're going to focus on Tomb Finance, but obviously since they're forks, it goes for all of them, right? And then how to acquire non-KYC, know your customer Bitcoin, right? So a lot of exchanges, you have to enter, you got to send in your ID, a picture of your ID, so the government can track your digital assets and they can get rid of financial privacy and they can be more tyrannical, right? So how to acquire non-KYC Bitcoin, we'll talk about how to do that here today, so that's exciting. And our sky high APYs, a race to the bottom regarding Olympus DAO forks. So very interesting topics we will be covering today. And let's go ahead and jump into the crypto markets. How's that looking? You can see that, Ian?
Yeah, looks good. Go over to the left a little bit. There you go.
So the market's kind of in a stagnant mode. What are you thinking about this?
Yeah, basically trading sideways. I know a lot of people have talked about January being a big month, so we'll see what ends up happening if that actually becomes true. If we'll see the blow off top that everyone's expecting. What do you think about that?
Well, I thought we might see a nice little rebound once the New Year's kicked in, and a lot of the people kind of stop worrying about tax loss and tax loss harvesting and all this junk. I thought we would see a little nice rebound, but it looks like we're doing a little more stagnating, which is kind of surprising, which might be a little more bearish than I originally thought. Any specific project you wanted to point out today? I mean, Tezos. What is Tezos up to?
Well, I saw, Flow. I remember I saw a while back, and I thought it was such a good investment at $10, and now it's kind of surprising that it's at $9. So
is it at 9?
Yeah.
Well,
crazy.
I'll tell you something. I made a price prediction video or like a review video way back when we were booming on Flow. We were up to like $30 Flow, and my price prediction for Flow was like $30 or $25 when we were booming, right? Everybody's like $100 Flow, and I was like, inflation is going to hit this one like a motherfucker. And it did. So, but also I also called for $2,000 cover or $10,000 cover.
Oh wow! Let's check that out.
I made a price prediction video for $10,000 cover. It's currently sitting at 37. So that didn't work out. Ooh, but it did go up significantly today. We'll take that. So yeah, that's called an L.
Oh, wow.
Well, the devs decided to stop working together. So the opposite, it was the opposite of teamwork makes the dream work. It was teamwork destroyed the dream pretty much with this project. Damn. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the newsletter. So obviously the New Year's, Happy New Year's. Hopefully you had a great New Year's. Was safe, right? Was safe out there. Had a little bit of fun, and Ian and I hung out. It was pretty fun.
Good time.
It was a good time. Let's see here. Turkey's president, first news event. Turkey's president urges citizens to ignore inflation. Inflation in Turkey for the last year has been around 30%. So over the course of the last year, inflation in Turkey was 30%. And the value of the lira, which is the Turkish currency, has gone down dramatically from 14 cents down to about 7 cents at its lowest. So it lost 50% of its buying power this year alone against world currencies. So once again, probably the best investment strategy is taking out a low interest rate loan in a devaluing currency or asset, or most likely currency. And look at the lira over the last, what is that? Like 15 years? It's down over 90%. About 90% down.
That's crazy.
What do you think about that?
Well, I was just thinking, imagine if you were making like $100,000 a year or 100,000 lira a year, and then it's basically half that. Like,
Right.
it's crazy.
In 1 year, let
Yeah.
alone in 15 years. So one thing that people, half of like all your life revolves around earning money, yet people don't understand the mechanisms behind it, right? So there was a Michael Saylor quote that says something to the extent of working ever harder for ever devaluing currency is the course to serfdom, or something to that degree. A lot of people work
Yeah.
so hard. Well, most people work 99.9% of people work extremely hard for their money, and they're just getting it stolen from them by an invisible enemy, which is inflation usually.
Yeah,
But
and
it's
inflation definitely exaggerates the wealth gap. It's kind of crazy to think about. On Reddit, there's so many people that work at, big tech companies and work like 2 hours a day and get these huge salaries. And I always think of, miners in like Colombia or Mexico getting paid nothing and working 12-hour really hard days. It's kind of crazy that gap. But yeah, a lot of people just don't have the knowledge of, how they should manage their financial position.
Yeah, it's definitely a different type of working. It's tough to compare a coder to, I don't know. That's tough, man. I
Well,
definitely
no,
would not.
it's just when you think about like how little some people work and what they get in return, like it's kind of
Right.
crazy how there's such a big divide.
Well, Ian, don't we strive to do exactly that?
Yes, absolutely.
Don't we strive? That is our goal, is to do put out such information that is valued at a value that we're comfortable with not working as much, or something to that degree. That is our goal, more or less.
Work smarter,
Work
100%.
smarter and harder for extended period, and then stop working so hard. But anyways, let's move on. Enough of inflation. 90% of hedge funds were outperformed by the S&P 500. If you go ahead and look at it, I mean, I think only the top three so the top three hedge funds outperformed the S&P. The rest did not. So the managers of these hedge funds seem like they were out playing golf all year, which it is what it is. And then Melvin Capital is the hedge fund that got absolutely destroyed by the Redditors and GameStop. They shorted GameStop, and Reddit was like, no. And they made GameStop go through the roof, and Melvin lost a lot of money. So what do you think about all this? What do you think about the future of hedge funds in general, Ian?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just these hedge funds are also pretty hard to get into. So imagine, you're a wealthy person, you're able to get into Melvin Capital and you're down 40%. You're supposed to be putting your money with someone who can manage it better than you. And as I was looking through this list, I was like, most people didn't even beat Anchor Protocol. Of course, there's risks with putting your money in Anchor, but
right.
It's yeah, I think I think you wrote a little bit in this article. On-chain asset management is over the next 10 years.
Yeah, I did write a little bit about on-chain management, and I think transparent performance along with transparent transactions and activity is going to be something of high value in the near future. And that's exactly what I'm trying to position myself as a little bit with D-Hedge, but it's far from what I want it to be in the near future. Probably in a year or so, we'll have it in a total different probably space, but only time will tell. Now let's talk about the big gainers real quick. Cosmos, Atom up 20%, Yearn 20%. Oh, this is Frax, not Frack. Frick. That should have been Frax.
Frax, right?
Frax share at 70% and Velis at 53%. Any of those you would like to check out real quick?
Yeah, what's happening with Yearn?
Yearn is, I don't know. Yearn is doing all right. We could check. I know Andre. I would not bet against Andre Daniel,
Tetranode.
and Tetranode. Yeah, for sure. You saw that tweet,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I still would not bet against them. But yeah, we'll see. DeFi Saver. I don't know. I guess people starting to believe in. I know. Urine went to Phantom, so they're on Ethereum and Phantom right now.
That's awesome.
So that might be part of the reason. But anyways, moving on to Tomb and their forks. And you want to go ahead and jump into this, Ian?
Yeah, for sure. So, it feels really similar to when Olympus DAO and all of its forks had a lot of hype. So, I think it's really important for people to really dive into Tomb, understand it, and see if they potentially want to invest in some forks. I know Mr. Dingle has invested in some forks early on, and they've done pretty well. And so let's just kind of go through how Tomb Finance works first. So really there's 3 tokens in the Tomb ecosystem, and it has one goal, right? So Tomb is pegged to Phantom, right? It's not pegged to a stable coin. It's meant to have the same value as Phantom. And the reason is because Phantom, as it grows, it has a specific fixed supply. And as it grows, more and more Phantom is going to be locked into validators. And so Tomb is trying to offer a medium of exchange and just more liquidity within the network. So it's actually serving a really needed purpose. And so there's 3 tokens. The first one is Tomb, and that's the one that's pegged to Phantom, right? And then there's T-Share, which is the second token in the Tomb ecosystem. And this is basically helps determine how new Tomb gets distributed. So if you buy T-Share and then you stake it, when Tomb is in an expansionary phase, meaning there's more demand and it's pushing the price above Phantom, then they mint new Tomb and they distribute it to T-Share stakers. And then the T-bond is kind of the opposite of that. So if they're in a contractionary phase, if people are selling off Tomb and it's going below the peg, you can burn your Tomb and you can get back T-bond, which gives you the right to Tomb plus a premium. So you're making money. With T-bond, you're making money. With T-Share through distributions of APY. So that's the basics right there. And basically, if there's a network that you expect to grow and there's going to be more and more of the governance token locked up, and you see a need for increased liquidity down the road, then this could be a good system. But again, it's fairly experimental, kind of similar to Ohm. So make sure that you take all of those risks into account.
Good. That was a great explanation, Ian. I would like, for example, Phantom and Tomb, man, they are on point, right? They are like neck and neck. They held value during the recent sell-off in November or something. They held pretty strong, 1-to-1, more or less. So they've done pretty well, even through the Grim. What is it? When Grim got exploited. Grim got exploited, and a lot of T-shares got stolen and sold on the open market, and they still held peg. And I mean, T-shares have been doing very, very well over time. So it's still going up to date. And look at this graph. It's a very strong graph. It's a very strong graph. So if you can get into an early fork of these, it might be lucrative. It is a financial experiment, so be cautious. But anyways, let's move on. Any other thing about Tomb, and what exactly do you think will happen, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think it serves a really important purpose. We'll see if the system actually works. That I don't know, but I have seen a trend, right? So Gyro was the Ohm fork on Binance. It was an early mover and hasn't performed as well as some of the other forks. And there's another fork of Tomb on Binance, and it's called Bomb. And apparently it's been doing pretty bad. It's had trouble holding its peg. So I don't know what it is, but it seems like any fork that goes to Binance doesn't do great. I mean, you can see the graph. It was
that's not the right Bomb.
Oh,
is it B share or something? Be sure.
I'm not exactly sure, but I saw it on Reddit. People were complaining about why it wasn't doing well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. But anyways, let's go. We'll see what happens. It's kind of just send it and see what happens, I guess. Type of deal. But anyways, how to acquire non-KYC Bitcoin. Obviously, every year goes by and it's getting more difficult and more difficult to get Bitcoin, to get your hands on a Bitcoin wallet that is not directly tied to your name. So you say you bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, any digital asset on any exchanges, 99% of the exchanges is connected to your identity, and then you send it off chain to this wallet. They assume it's your wallet, right? I mean, you probably could argue in court, but I don't know if it would hold up if you said, "Oh, I sent it to this wallet and it wasn't a boat accident." I don't know how well that would hold up in court. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's yet to be seen, but maybe it would do well. Who knows? But then if you ever won that court case, you better not. Nobody ever.
You can't take it out.
You can't move it. If you move it, who took it? They found it in the water. Like, it will be stuck forever in the boat crash story. But then you can move to a different country and then move it. We'll see.
Yep, that's true.
I wonder if they would actively monitor the ones that got in boat accidents in the wallets.
Oh, I bet they would.
But anyway, so how to acquire it? Bitcoin mining. You can start a little home mining rig and mine some Bitcoin, and that's non-KYC Bitcoin. Here's a couple of nice articles. Non-KYC exchanges. Most of them out. They are. Let's check out the other one. This one's I like better. So cash deposit, cash by mail. See, they're trading at a premium. Cryptocurrency, USDI, but that's still connected to your wallet. So I want to do that one. Cash by mail. Really, cash by mail seems like the one. So that's tough. 99% good reviews. 99% good reviews. 4,852 customers. So I mean, the cash by mail, yes. It's sketch. Yes, it's sketch, but it is an option to get non-KYC Bitcoin, right? It is an option. Yeah. And no ID, instant safer strike me. Interesting. I might have, but that's extreme premium. Frick this premium. Buy Bitcoin cash and buy Bitcoin online in the United States. Buy Bitcoin with cash. Okay, so you can also meet up with these folks. Don't meet up with this. Who's taking the chance on this 0% zero customer guy in Honolulu? Well, it's also in Hawaii, man. So I might have to take a chance on this one. Very little premium, though. Very little premium. So that's nice to see. But anyways, that's another option to get your non-KYC Bitcoin. Bitcoin ATMs. Just have a temporary phone number, not a fake one. It's temporary. Get a job that pays non-KYC Bitcoin. You can get a job. Just make sure you don't disclose your personal information to your employer, and then be kind of like a contractor for a short period of time. Get him to send it to a Bitcoin wallet that's probably offline already. And there you go. Some non-KYC Bitcoin. The world where non-KYC is illegal is a scary world. Why? Because I mean, there's a couple reasons. The government monopoly that can discriminate against you. And then also there's a couple other ones. No more cash. So basically no more financial privacy. And this, lastly, what else did I write? Okay, so also every time you put your data into a centralized exchange/business, you're exposed to data leaks, and I'm sure all mine and your data, social security number, name, email, all of that junk, passwords that we use, all that junk is out there, Ian.
Yep.
All that junk is out there. You have to assume that somebody bad has it and protect yourself from it using Google Authenticate, using blah, 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 blah. So you have to expect it's already out there. Any thoughts on getting your hands on some of the non-KYC Bitcoin this year, Ian?
Sounds like a little bit of work, but yeah, I mean, if that's something that's really important to you, there's some good ways to do it. I kind of like, I mean, I feel like a lot of jobs, like you can get a lot of jobs just in crypto by contributing, and they'll just send you crypto to your address. So that's like a very viable option for a lot of people. But yeah,
Right.
it's nice to know that you have options, you know?
Absolutely. I totally agree. Biggest losers, Kadena, Decentraland, Wonderland, unfortunately, another negative week, but also it was rebasing, so you got some extra, but I don't know about 22%, maybe 5% offsetted. How much APY a week is it?
In 5 days, it's about 9%.
So really, it's only down 11%, man. That's not too bad. Are you still in?
Yes, I'm still in time.
You're still sending it.
I haven't checked it today.
It was a little bounce for you. Oh, it's up 1.
Oh,
there we go.
Nice.
Now, okay. Hey, we might have hit the bottom there, boys. All right, that's not too bad. All right. I mean, so this
it's really a wild ball because like we have no idea what Danielle is gonna end up doing. Like it's literally what is it, 750 million of Treasury assets or so. So I mean,
total value locked. Yeah, it's like 1-to-1 right now. Market cap and TVL is like 1-to-1, basically, which is very interesting. That's interesting. But you're basically holding it relatively long term, right?
Yeah, unless I see something better, but I think I'm gonna hold for now.
And hey, there we go. Okay, before we get into the last speaking of Wonderland,
yeah.
The next article wrote by the person invested in time. But before we get into that, let's do some reactions.
Let's do it.
So, this was supposed to, I should have brought this up right after going over price action, but do you ever feel like if you sell Moon, if you hold stagnation, if you buy down 99%? I've felt that
definitely had that feeling.
1.5 million times. Yeah. Do you have any experiences on the top of your head?
Oh man. Well, probably the worst feeling was not buying Luna at 88 cents.
That was right
the
there.
Worst feeling.
Yeah. If I sell or never bought, but was very close to buying. I think that's more likely.
Yeah,
right?
That's more of like a if I sell kind of thing.
Right. But anyways, let's move on to Paris Hilton saying praising this. All .eth names should follow each other. And she says, rocket. She was on, I think, Jimmy Fallon, and she was talking about NFTs, and she sounded very intelligent. She was very impressive.
Yeah. I mean, I bet she met a lot of real people in the NFT space that wanted to onboard her. So
Jimmy Fallon. Let's see if I can find it real quick about NFTs on NFTs. It's a 6-minute video, bro. What are we doing?
It's delightful. Seriously? But it's a total trip. It's obvious that you put a lot of work into it. She's probably happy because she found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol.
Dude, cereals are ass.
My next guest is a woman, a best-selling author.
Basically the only thing that I've done.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, though.
It's a lot. But I'm not a bridezilla at all. No, but I just feel
all right, first question for you, Ian.
Yeah.
She's still attractive. I don't know how old. Yeah. How old is Paris? This is burning. How old
so fast
is Paris Hilton? All right. How old? Oh, 40 years old, bro. She does not look 40. Holy smokes, bro. Damn.
Oh, really? When people come up to the booth and they you can go to sleep.
Yeah.
Hey, I know Beeple is an artist. That's
here we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, so awesome.
And he had maybe 300 pictures in one digital picture. Mm-hmm. I thought that was interesting, and I go, well, I could never do that. What he did, but
yeah, you could try something, maybe sell one of your jokes or something.
I couldn't even do that to my audience tonight. Are you kidding me? I doubt I would make money off the NFTs. I want to talk about cooking with parents because
I gotta
All right.
step out real quick. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I gotta step out one sec.
All right, no problem. It's like he works or something. Jeez. But anyways, let's move on to a couple other things I wanted to bring up today. Let's skip his article before he comes back and go to the biggest NFT winners this week. Prime Ape. Let's look at Doodles real quick. Doodles are a lot of fun. I might actually get myself one real quick. I really do like their art. Like it's definitely on my brand. It's definitely on my brand for sure. I mean, 5 ETH. I like their art for sure. But anyways, let's move on to Dingle Asset Management. Basically, we're down 4% this week. But that's just because overall market conditions. We are in the Balancer, LP, Matic, USDC, ETH, Balancer, Bitcoin, USDC, and ETH. So we're earning APYs. Just the assets went down in value. Yo, ID, you working on something, bro?
Yeah.
What's up? All right, so let's go ahead and look at the other reaction videos we got, and then we'll jump into the last article and call it a day.
Perfect.
But anyways, complacency. I like this video a lot. That's you and I right here.
Yeah.
That's you and I just watching the wave of Luna. No, I'm just
What are they doing?
and they're like, oh fuck. And then they die.
That's so funny. The person inside is just videotaping them knowing fully what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of messed up a little bit. And lastly, we have this tier list for 2022 from Adam. I don't exactly know who Adam is, but this got some hype this week. It was a 206 tweet thread. Ian, can you keep up with that? Can you pull out a 206?
No shot. So he went through each one. That's crazy.
Well, he went through more than each one. It was like 5 for each one.
Oh my god.
But then he is a partner at Ventures, probably one of those hedge funds that lost a lot. But anyways, moving on. As promised, here's my he has Ethereum, Good Tier, Convex, YFI, and Keeper. How do you like that?
Okay. I wouldn't have picked those, but
Right.
I guess that makes you read the tweets.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else? I'm not going to go through all these, but anything you think that stands out on here? You see, let's see.
I see Pickle Finance.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
High risk, unlikely, but could 20x or 50x.
Ooh, Cow Swap is down there. I've been
Cow Swap
playing around with Cow Swap a little bit.
And OPYN.
Oh, yep.
I don't know a lot of these.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just don't know all of these symbols.
Like, I don't know what that is.
Is that Zcash?
This right here?
No, the Z in the middle.
Yeah, that's Zcash.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. If that's Frax, that's 0x. I don't know what is.
That's a good app. Is just, you know how they had the logos, you had to match them to. We should do that with crypto projects.
Yeah, we definitely could do something like that with the crypto projects for sure. Have a tier list. That's not a bad idea. We could definitely do that. Let's see. I think that is all. And then we can jump into this last article. Okay, so we were speaking of time and ohm fork. And now let's jump in why a lot of ohm forks are dumping. Ian?
Yeah. So we've had a lot of lessons here. So, looking at, the top projects, Olympus, Time, I personally think a lot of them will stick around for a while. I mean, we still have yet to see, but there has been hundreds of ohm forks. And a lot of them, to differentiate themselves, would offer crazy APYs, right? So Ragnarok recently offered 6.9 times 10 to the 58th power APY.
What the frick, dude?
And kind of makes sense. They weren't able to really attract that much capital, even despite the crazy APY. But I just want to kind of go through the lessons that we learned with these ohm forks. And, you know, a lot of people didn't really understand them to begin with. But the first is that the APY, the yearly APY, changes over time. So if you see 200,000 APY for Olympus, you have to realize that that's actually going to come down significantly, as well as the price, because it's a rebasing token, right? The other thing is that the APY that's distributed to stakers, that's really only keeping the same percentage of the market cap that the stakers own. So you still need the market cap to grow. And in fact, in just about every case, the stakers are getting diluted. So they're kind of keeping their same percentage of market cap, but it's going down a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, you know, it's basically, if the market cap isn't growing or the treasury isn't growing, then you're going to be, your gains through the APY are going to be taken away from the price decreasing. And that kind of leads into the next point, is that really you're making a bet on the treasury. So I think at this point is a lot more important than people realize. Like, what happens with the treasury basically determines what happens with the project. And, you know, since most of the treasury holdings are just crypto assets, in a market downturn, it's really going to suffer. So we've seen with a ton of ohm forks, basically bank runs, where the price starts to go down, everyone sells, and then the project is just a ghost because it's just completely dead. Now, I think these projects could still, you know, succeed in their goal and what they want to do, but it's really important to have a use case for the project, because if there's no use case for the project, or if the use case is like not very strong, then all it's doing is it's just this inflationary token system that doesn't really achieve anything.
Would you call it a Ponzi?
Yeah, absolutely. If there's no use case, classic Ponzi scheme.
A little more complicated than the normal one, but
yeah,
Ponzi.
Exactly. But for the top projects, for Time, Ohm, there's a few others that I think will continue to be strong, or have the potential to continue and be strong. It's going to really hinge around, you know, the deployment of the treasury, how they actually go about doing that.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you. I think this APY is distributed to stakers is done so through inflation. I think that's an important point that a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
And they get caught up in the APY, especially in my TikTok audience. I think that's a huge misconception. Every time I bring up Time and how the APY is not real.
Yeah.
They're like, what? Wait, the APY is not, it's what? I'm just like, yeah, but it is what it is. Anything you want to add? What? Just thinking. I want to know.
Yeah.
Give me your top 2022 goal.
Ooh.
Win this.
How about, I'm going to make a very audacious goal. How about 500 newsletter subscribers?
Let's get it. I thank you to all. We got the banner up.
There we go.
That's an audacious goal, but I definitely think it's possible. I think we're adding to the exclusive Discord where we're trying our best. We got office hours in the exclusive Discord now, which hopefully will provide a lot of value. A wholesale merch store coming. So a lot of exciting things in the works. And 2022 will be, that's pretty much the same goal I have, Ian. It's like
There we go.
we're
All
aligned.
right. We're aligned. Yeah.
But only time will tell. And we would like to thank you guys for an awesome 2021. And for 2022, we will continue to grind and produce the best content we can. And until next week, peace out.
Peace out.